One of the biggest fears midlife professionals have is this: what if I never feel ready again? After burnout, setbacks, health challenges, or long periods of uncertainty, readiness can feel like something you used to have, not something you trust will ever come back. So people try to force it. They push themselves to make decisions before they feel steady and hoping confidence will catch up later. But real readiness doesn't come from pressure. It comes from rebuilding safety, capacity, and trust over time. Today, I want to talk about how readiness actually returns because it doesn't show up as a burst of motivation or a sudden surge of certainty. I find it shows up quietly in ways that are easy to miss if you're expecting fireworks. So today's session is how to know you're finally ready for your next step without forcing. We often think readiness is a mindset. We imagine it as confidence or excitement or even clarity. But readiness is more physical than that, even. It's a nervous system state. When your system feels safe, safe enough, steady enough, and resourced enough, action becomes possible without overwhelming you. You don't have to talk yourself into it. You don't have to override your hesitation. There's simply less resistance. That's why readiness can't be forced through positive thinking. It emerges when your internal conditions change. One of the surprising signs of readiness is that you feel less desperate to change your life. Earlier, everything may have felt urgent. You might have wanted out of your situation immediately. But as readiness returns, urgency it softens. You still want change, but you don't feel panicked about it. That calmer state allows you to think more clearly and make choices based on fit instead of escape. When you're no longer trying to run away from your current situation, you're better able to move towards something that actually supports you. When you're not ready, every change can feel like a life or death situation or decision. You feel like you have to get it right the first time. As readiness grows, your thinking becomes more flexible. You start seeing next steps as experiments instead of permanent choices. You become more open to trying something small, learning from it, and adjusting. That shift from I have to figure out my whole future to I can test and learn is a strong sign that your system feels safer. Now, readiness often shows up in your body before it shows up in your thoughts. You might notice you're sleeping a bit better. Your energy might feel more consistent. Decisions don't spike your anxiety as sharply. You might still feel uncertainty, but it doesn't feel overwhelming. There's more space between a stressful thought and your physical reaction. Your physical shifts are important. They tell you your system has more capacity to handle change without tipping into shutdown. Now, after difficult experiences, many midlife professionals lose trust. They lose trust in their own judgment. But as readiness returns, that trust slowly rebuilds. You start believing once again that you can make a decision and adjust if you need to. You no longer feel like One wrong move will ruin everything. You feel more capable. You feel more capable of responding to challenges if they arise. That growing self trust is a foundation for sustainable action. When readiness arrives, the next step doesn't usually feel thrilling or dramatic. It feels doable. It might even feel a little underwhelming, but it does not trigger dread or panic. That's often how you know it's real readiness. The step fits your current capacity. It feels like something you can try without destabilizing your whole life. You're not looking for a perfect answer, okay? You're looking for a reasonable next move. Readiness rarely announces itself loudly. It doesn't come with a big emotional high. It comes quietly as steadiness, clarity, and a sense that you can move without forcing yourself. There's an essence of peace to it, stability. If you've been waiting to feel completely certain, you might miss it. But if you look for a sense of, I think I could try this, often that's enough. You don't need to be fearless. You just need to be steady, steady enough to take that one step. If you've been worried that readiness might never return, I hope this helps you. I hope it helps you recognize the small signs when it does. You don't have to force your way into the next chapter. You can move when your system is ready to support you. Please subscribe if you want continued guidance for navigating this transition with steadiness and clarity. Remember, clarity comes first. Thanks for watching today and have a great day.